Now, I derive the four major stressors from my four principles to wellness and movement, and I rate all four principles, and the emotional health rating is usually the highest for my clients. And the mind is the weakest muscle in the body. Another important aspect is education. In order for you to raise your emotional health rating, I also provide you with ways to learn. So this article is on my blog page, on my website, empowering people with knowledge so that they can take that information and apply it. Retrain your mind. Cells that fire together learn to wire together. The limbic emotional section of the brain where we process what we're perceiving or what we had perceived in our past. That's how memories get stored and we get triggered. Ever have a triggered emotion? And when we get excited from a red line perspective, because there's good stress, you're excited because you're in love. Or there's a bad stress, you're pissed off because you're getting a divorce. Both of those are stressors. They both have to be modulated. Too much of a good thing isn't a good thing, right? And it has a direct effect on the other principles. It has a direct effect on the whole body because it's all connected. Dr. Candace Pert was an internationally recognized neuroscientist, molecular biologist, and author of the book Molecules of Emotion. That's what energy is. It's energy in motion, emotion. Cells are lined with specific receptors that only certain molecules can attach themselves to. These molecules are like messages that communicate between body, mind, neurons, glands, and immune cells. Cells that fire together, wire together. As our feelings change, so as you have the good or the bad. So if you have a good feeling, you got good peptides. We'll keep it simple for you. If you have negative or bad, then you got bad peptides. As our feelings change, this mixture of peptides travels throughout our body, and they're literally changing the chemistry of every cell in your body. After you're upset, did you ever feel your muscles get tight? Well, I'm here to empower you guys with a lot of education. Brain, organs, and tissues. If energy going through an organ, so when you're in fear, fear is held in the middle lower back, the lower back primarily. All right, so just above the navel, below the navel. And that section of the body, when we're looking at organs, we have our kidneys, and then above our kidneys, we have our adrenal glands. And that's where we store a lot of fear. Now, fear can get stored anywhere in the body. Our emotional issues can get stored in the tissues. And an example would be these big psoas muscles as shown in this image. When we are under fear and feeling unsafe, so maybe you're going through a divorce, you just lost your job, they're going to foreclose on your house, that could piss you off. So piss, pee, kidneys. So when we're peeved or pissed, that's an emotional response. And because of where the psoas is located, as indicated in this image, it is the bridge between the upper torso and the lower. It attaches to the spine, so it's also a spine stabilizer. It's in association with the diaphragm, so it can also affect diaphragmatic function. But when there's trouble in your life, like you're going through divorce, or you're losing your job, or the mortgage on your house is due and you don't have the money, you can't move forward in life, and you use the psoas to move forward. Now, the reason I'm mentioning all this is more from a psychological perspective, because emotional health or stress has a direct relationship to lower back pain. And physiological functioning, which I rate for my clients. So when we look at like this slide here, physiological stress load rating, what is your readiness for exercise? So as your physiological stress load goes up, you have a decreased tolerance for exercise. But we could also say that we also are moving away from wellness and movement. So we're moving towards disease. And as we bring that load down, then we're moving back to health. So in this article, stress is a natural response to challenging or threatening situations, depending on the type of stress it is. And it's how we perceive it. While acute stress can be beneficial in certain situations where enhanced performance, improved memory, heightened awareness, and cognitive function are required, chronic stress, which is what we're mostly under nowadays, can have a profound negative effect on health. The psoas is often referred to as the fight or flight muscle and is one of the primary muscles involved in the body's stress response. When stimuli are perceived as threatening or dangerous, the body instinctively activates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. The main stress response system linking perceived stress. Now, the key word here is perceived. This is where I help my clients with mind training. We have to change the perception of the stress that we're encountering. So linking perceived stress to the physiological responses. Activation of the HPA axis triggers the release of the stress hormones, cortisol, and adrenaline from the adrenal gland. And now that goes back to our other image, and now you see the connection. All that explanation to show you how the body is interconnected and why we need to look at the emotional aspects of our client's lifestyle.